We're using this to strengthen existing beam caps under bridges that support the superstructure. What the material is, kind of like this. It's a fabric, bunch of you can see little threads here. That's all woven together in a uniaxial direction. Then they put essentially smother it in epoxy, and it creates a polymer, and it makes it really strong, and it's kind of like a gluing to the concrete. There's two different ways they do it. You can use what they call a dry layup process, and that's where you apply the epoxy to the concrete, and then you take these and you just roll them on there, and then they put some more epoxy on it later to get it fastened. Or you can just lather it with the epoxy first, and then that will then they can just put it on there from there. What we used to do is, we'd analyze a beam, usually when we're going to do a rehab, and we find that the beam is insufficient. Could be for loading. In our cases, what we're doing here is mostly for the loading, so I'll just stick with that. What we had to do before was put a big concrete block, deepen it, something like this right here, which would involve all these resin anchors, doing that all the way down the length of the beam. And you could guess that that's going to cost a decent amount of money to have to do that. When you do this, you obviously got to let the concrete sit for a while, 21 days probably before you can load it, I would guess. Anyway, it takes time, is the point. This stuff, they can do this in a day, it's ready the next day. And then that means they can go on above to the superstructure and fix and start messing with all that. So it's big cost savings and big time savings, which is again cost savings.